going up to see Jenny and surprise her with her $5,000 prize. Jenny, congratulations. You're a Bunnings home ground hero.
Pretty honoured and humbled to be a Bunnings home ground hero.
It's overwhelming actually, it's humbling. It's a nice reminder about why I do this.
But yeah, just the whole sense of gratitude, man, and thankful to Bunnings and TNZ.
Sport. What does it mean to us? For some, it's potential, a promise that we could be better, that the early mornings will be worth it, that we could be champions.
It starts with touch.
This Touch New Zealand event is proudly supported by Bunnings Warehouse.
Kia ora te whānau and welcome back to the 2023 Bunnings Youth Touch Championships down here in the beautiful city of Christchurch, where the weather is starting to look like what I was told it was looking like before I come down, and we are here in our third live stream game on Whakaata Māori. Coming up, we have the under-16 mixed team from Auckland versus the under-16 mixed team from Whanganui. Corey, I'm a little bit biased. I love the mixed game. I think that's where real touch is played. I love seeing the mix of genders playing together and seeing the female players just compete at just such an insane level. I'm always inspired. Some of my greatest touch players over the history of time have come out of this mixed grade, and there have been females in it, just so amazing. And people like Cecily Stanton just really sticks out for me. As we see here, the lineups for the two teams, Auckland and Whanganui. Got some key players in here. Mai Young, Ben Bundle, Preston Field for Auckland there. Haven't seen these two teams play so far today. I'm not sure if this is their second game. Likely be. Most teams, if you don't already know, will play about 3 or 4 games per day. So it's a big effort by the teams, and then this will be most of the team's second games. Corey, we've had 2 pretty good games so far. We kicked off with the under-16 boys grade and then into the under-16 girls, where we had Hawke's Bay take that one out. Southland fighting back at the end, but just didn't quite get there. And now we've got these 2 star-studded teams.
Yeah, mate, we've had 2 awesome games so far. I mean, I'm really looking forward to this one. The mixed games is definitely brings another element to the game. I was never really a mixed guy myself, but my absolute all-time favourite player, without a doubt, being Kopai Irihi. So he was a real master of that mixed game.
Here we see Whanganui on attack, straight into it. With number 10 here, Blake Webster.
Yeah, the mixed games were renowned for entertaining touchdowns, and your brother being one of those players, and Dean Williams was a real exponent of the mixed grade. So it'll be an exciting game here, ladies and gentlemen. We'll hopefully see a lot of touchdowns and a lot of excitement, as we've seen through the opening 2 games of these rounds that we've been lucky enough to bring to you live on Whakaata Māori this morning.
Great yards there by Louisa, number 5 there from Auckland. Really got the set going well. Boys have come on from the box, setting up. 32 pick.
Got a mismatch out wide here at the back for a passive, and he's going a bit high, but yeah, it's a good mix match, and good passive out the back to run into that hole.
It was sort of a half pass. It almost looked like the player had to wait for that front runner to get in front of him so he can get to the ball to him, and he just looped it over. Unlucky there.
Front row, yeah, he missed the bus, you reckon.
Yeah, danger signs there for the Whanganui 16 mixed crew there, as Auckland just seemed a little bit too easy getting down to that attacking line, and then first strike they showed that they could create some opportunity at the back end. So it's a real pleasing signs for Auckland, but maybe just a little bit more effort needed for Whanganui.
How good are these green boots? These two blokes that are going out there now have got the best looking boots I've seen in a long, long time.
If that first set from Auckland is what we're going to be getting used to today, then Whanganui better watch out. That was an incredible first set, and we once again there, Seguiza playing her role, getting that second yard going really direct, getting her team on the front foot. Boys have come back on from the sub box again. We've got number 15, Santiago Olds. Same play.
Out of half,
gets through to the back.
Gone into mirrors.
This is scary. This is scary, Kev. That just looked far too easy. What happened there?
Yeah, and sometimes you just can't coach speed when it comes to touch. It's a hidden gem that we have in our game as we look to the Bunnings Warehouse replay. Just looking to open to the middle of the field. We see the link female there creating some options in the middle. And then number 2 there for Auckland, Jarvis Edmonds, just showing too much pace and able to dish it off to... I was just obstructed there by the referee, was unable to see the try scorer in the corner, but lovely hands and good execution to dot down for Auckland's first try.
How good was that pass from Jarvis? Almost like he just flicked his wrist and that ball went about 20 metres.
Yeah, Corey, I've been really impressed with the fundamental ball skills, whether it's the catch pass or even the way the ruck control's been over the first couple of games that we've had leading into the third. Like some real limited errors around the ball control, and maybe that's just a testament to the new silver fern ball that we have.
Yeah, skill sets on the kids are great these days, and then when the products come out and they match the skill set of the players, we see beautiful things like Jarvis as we flicked there that went about 20 metres. So.
You would think a touch ball is a touch ball is a touch ball, but I must say over the nearly 30 years that I've been involved, that not only are they different colour, but a lot of them are very different shapes, quite different dimensions, where some are skinnier and longer and some are short and I guess a little bit more girth to them. But you're definitely right, the Silver Fern ball cave is one of the best we've had, if not the best, and I think that really adds to what the players can do.
Yeah, it's definitely the closest replica to the World Cup kind of ball that we normally have to play with through FIT, and to be able to play with that at a grassroots, provincial and national level, it gives us every opportunity to get used to what we're in for when we perform at that international scale. So to be able to have the luxury of being able to play with a ball such as the Silver Fern ball that we're playing with now, it's just awesome for our top end players.
Whanganui here with a chance to start their set from halfway. Just getting into the field, part of the field where they're wanting to set up this next attack, getting some subs on.
Yeah, just looking to get their interchange onto the field, looking to strike through the middle as we see them looking to run a 33 peel there, but just lost count there of what the touch count was, and ran in on their sixth touch when they thought it was 5.
Corey, that must be really important, knowing the count when you're coming on from the box.
Yeah, I think Blake Webster come out there all going
wow.
crazy, and then, here we go, sorry. That's some speed out of half there. Was that number 3, Taylor Pete? Oh, no, sorry.
Ben Blundell.
Ben Blundell. Some gas on that lad. He was a zoom, as my kids will say.
As we see the Bunnings Warehouse replay, just sees the opportunity, finds a hole between the defence, and no need to get down to the scoreline when you've got speed like that, when you can just turn the afterburners on. And there wasn't much space to work with there, but the referee in good position to see that a touch wasn't made either, and good honesty not to call it there as well. And we see Auckland extend their lead 2 touchdowns to 0.
How balanced was he, Kava, Ben Blundell there? He sort of was quite upright, and he sort of just twisted, turned and motored his way through that hole.
Some great footwork there from Parley Clark as he looks to expose the short side there of the Auckland mixed group as they look to come back that way. Ooh, Blake having a bit of a dive at the line, but good space awareness there from the Auckland defence, and they were able to close that gap and execute a good saving touch.
Yeah, Blake and Muir, the Green Boot brothers out there together.
something that you saw a lot of back in the day, the old two-coloured boots. You don't really see it anymore, but it was definitely a way to stand out, and I'm not too sure if that was for the selectors to take notice, or it was just to make yourself feel a little bit better personally.
That's a nice play, that. This will be interesting because he's got an open player out there on the wing, and I think he might have thrown a dummy.
Oh, we can hear the Whanganui box outside the tent. They're loving that. That was a great saving touch there from, I think that was Charisse Matthews there covering across. Looked to shut in and then made a great recovering touch. As yes, we see Matthews, good release line, running in that positive mind, and then able to make the touch on the back of the Auckland player before he's able to dive into the line.
It's real similar to Canterbury. That first game with the boys, this Auckland team's starting to calm down and they're just starting to play eyes up footy. We've seen just two simple wraps that have created two opportunities for tries. So.
Yeah, Pete Samuel's got this team really polished. They don't even look like they're out of second gear, I'd say. The transition off the line's great. They're flowing into everything on attack, and Whanganui must feel like it's almost like a tsunami just coming at them, and they're finding it hard to stop them. It was a great set of defence last time down, but the Auckland team looked very polished.
Yeah, and Pete's been around the mixed game for a long period of time. He's had a lot of success with the Auckland Open Mix, and then at the secondary school nationals. I think he actually recently just got coach of the tournament for that, if I recollect to what potentially was put up on Facebook. So he's got a lot of experience in the mixed game, and he's got a real talent to be able to create championships as well. So we'll probably look to see this Auckland team get into the depths of the tournament, but for now they're holding a 2-touchdown lead over Whanganui, who just haven't managed to create some chances when it's come down to their opportunities on the scoreline.
Got Ben Bundle back out there, he's dropped. Good solid touch there from Whanganui. He's turned that ball over and earned himself
Just going back to Pete there, Kev, unfortunately I've had the privilege of having him coach teams that have beat the teams that I've been coaching as recently as actually down here at the last Open Nationals where Auckland beat the Thames Valley in the final of the mixed grade there. And yeah, not only just a great coach, but in terms of talking to his players, they all have such huge respect for him, and he seems to create a really cool environment. So Pete just once again doing a great job like he does. Much better attack there from Whanganui. Unfortunately didn't finish, but yeah, a lot more direct and a lot more purpose in that one.
Yeah, Waireki's picked the ball up out of half there, went to run open, seen the player turn his back and just shot back short side. Unfortunately just couldn't find someone to pick it up.
Yeah, and a real proud touch provinces. Whanganui had a lot to do with a lot of coaches that have come out of there of recent years, as well as some players that have been a part of our national system as well. And it's cool to see that last set, you know, they didn't really get across half in the two before that, but then showed some real purpose. So some good comms coming from the box from this coaching group in Koro and Winter, and you can just see that they're applying a little bit more physicality to this Auckland group now, who probably came out with a hiss and a roar, but you know, Whanganui, they might have been a little bit overawed to begin with, but now that they've seen what's happening, as they pick up a penalty there for offside, just releasing too early there before the dummy half had taken hold of the ball, and they're going to create another opportunity there to get down to the scoreline.
Good call by the ref there. You hear the sideline referee yelling out to that player early, and the on-field referee heard those comms. Great teamwork, and the correct decision was made in a penalty. So just some more good work there by the refs.
I like that from Cook though. Like if you're gonna give away a penalty, then hey, touch one. I'm sure his coach can live with that, especially with the pressure he was putting on Whanganui as they were coming off the line.
As we see another penalty there, again I believe that was for offside through the middle of the field. So just good awareness there from Clark to identify that the advantage call was there, and nothing came of it, and back to the penalty we came.
Yeah, I'm sure Pete would have been happy with the touch one penalty, and not so sure about the 5-touch penalty.
Oh, and there's the opportunity that Whanganui were looking for, just unfortunately couldn't gather it in as the hole opened up, but some pleasing signs in the back end of this first half. They've really weathered the storm, and they're starting to create chances for themselves, this Whanganui team. So look out for a really entertaining end of this first half, and hopefully this continues on into the second stanza as well.
There's Taylor Peters. Oh, she's just reached out, just missed that one. She's run great lines today, Kev. Taylor's been out and she's been quite vocal and demanding the ball when she's in space. So the boys can feed her and find her. I'm sure she's going to finish off a few good tries.
And Mai, you've had a lot more experience when it comes to coaching mixed than myself and Corey. And how important is it to have that trust in the female players from your male players?
It's everything. If you don't trust them, you may as well play 3-on-6. And the opportunity that I've had just some amazing female players in the teams that I've had, that the boys actually bow down to them, and every time they score they're running over. The girls are just picking passes up that they shouldn't be. The passes are terrible and the boys are just going over and saying, hey, thanks for having my back. It's so important. If you don't, like I say, the boys won't throw long balls if they don't think that someone's going to catch it, and they'll just try and do everything in the middle. So yeah, hugely important.
Yeah, I love hearing that, Mauri. I've got a wee girls crew down here in Christchurch, and about 74 girls in the Monsters Touch Club. A few of them are just sitting outside the tent here. They've bunked school today.
Bad parenting.
Yeah. Hey, mate, not all classrooms have 4 walls.
2 minutes to go. You hit the nail on the head, Kev. Whanganui stemmed the tide, stemmed the flow, and actually starting to really build.
Commentator's curse from Maya. That's the first one of the day.
And potentially it's the first time we've seen a bit of brightness out there. It's been quite overcast all morning, so hopefully this is good signs of things to come for the rest of the day. Hopefully some sunshine. It's been pretty warm down here, so it'll be cool for the kids to have some nice dry weather to have some open end footies. As we just see Auckland, a bit of an error as they go into the play of the ball, and it's probably let them down towards the back end of this first half, just not being able to complete their sets, and they're really giving Whanganui every opportunity to create their own chances to get back into this game, as they're looking for a bit of go forward here. Nice long pass over the top, and there's that physicality that I was talking about. Auckland are really bringing their physicality through their touches and their speed, and Whanganui just need to match it and make sure that they're equal in the strength of their ruck and their touches at the same time.
I feel like it's gone a little bit messy, Kev. Both teams, first team to tidy up, I think we'll just run away with this quite easily. Auckland's got a couple of buffer points, but they'll need a lot more to feel comfortable. What I'm really impressed about Auckland is their defence. Taylor Peters and Mikau Cook, they work hard. They are pushing up real strong and making great reads. So let's just go out to Peters again, is it?
I want to see that catch, because that didn't look like an easy one.
Yeah, Taylor Peters, we called it before. We said, she's out there demanding the ball. She's got space, and she's really giving it the vocals. So I'm imagining she's screaming for this one. He's launched it out there. Yeah, great catch and a great finish.
Just the efficiency and the timing from when she caught the ball at the top of its height to getting the ball to ground as quickly as she can. That's just, that looked so simple what she did, but that could easily have been a touch if she wasn't so good at that. As we come up towards the end of the first half here of the under-16 mixed game between Auckland and Whanganui. Auckland in the lead 3-0. Whanganui hoping to score before the end. We just hear the hooter in the background. Let's see what we finish up with. Doesn't look like there's too much on. Bit of pass to you, pass back, and there we have it. That ends the first half. Auckland 3, Whanganui 0.
We're going up to see Jenny and surprise her with her $5,000 prize. Jenny, congratulations. You're a Bunnings home ground hero.
Pretty honoured and humbled to be a Bunnings home ground hero.
It's overwhelming, actually. It's humbling. It's a nice reminder about why I do this.
But yeah, just the whole sense of gratitude, man, and thankful to Bunnings and TNZ.
Sport. What does it mean to us? For some, it's potential, a promise that we could be better, that the early mornings will be worth it, that we could be champions.
starts with touch.
Welcome back. We just hit the half-time break of our game between the Auckland Under-16 Mixed team and the Whanganui Under-16, where Auckland lead 3-0. The game started off Auckland. What a hiss. They just looked so polished. As we're going to see some try lights coming up. I honestly thought it could have been 10-0 by the end here, Kev, as we see these try lights.
Yeah, they played with some real purpose, Auckland, and they've really taken their opportunities as we look to their first try here, and you just can't coach speed, and he just showed too much of it there. Young Matthews, and he was able to Edmonds there for Auckland, and he was able to find Taylor Peters in the corner for her first, and then again just great opportunity there from Ben Blundell, and split the defence before finishing the half through, I think it was number 6 there, Preston Field, with a great right to left pass, and she gets her second for the day, Peters in the corner. And it was just unfortunate there that Whanganui winger, if she maybe just threw in a dive, I think she would have been there, as we see the coaching staff laying down some change-ups and some fixes to this Whanganui Under-16 Mixed team. They've been there or thereabouts. It's just been a few handling errors and just a bit of pressure that Auckland's put on that's probably hindered them getting across the scoreline. But as one of the great Teletubbies of their region, Dominic Patia would say, just move on, and it's what happens next that is going to help this team. And I'm really excited to see this second half, because we really saw them weather the storm and really compete towards the back end of that first half. So I'm excited to see what they'll put out in the second stanza. You talked about the changes and the fix-ups. What would be one or two of the key ones you think for Whanganui to get back into this game? I think it's just giving them a level of confidence, not dwelling on some of the errors, and just using their experiences to their strength. As we see a great lifting touch there, but it was a bit of a falcon. Unfortunately, they were going for a bit of a try celebration, and the ball hit the back of the head. But like the strong man he is there, Connor Bowden, for Whanganui, Blake Webster, he's just going to walk it off and say, hey, if you're going to throw one at my head, I'm going to come get one back down at the scoreline at your end. But as we look to, I think it's that man, Preston Field. A little bit unlucky there, Webster. I thought he did well when he lifted off the line there to give himself the chance of getting that touch called, but referees decided that the ball was down on the line first, and Auckland extend their lead to 4 touchdowns to 0. I always used to crack up when someone would score a try and do one of the hero celebrations after the funniest one. I won't name names, but they scored a try, and for a period of time it was the kick the ball back to halfway was the go-to. Kicked the ball back to halfway, and hamstring went ping and didn't play any further in the tournament. And so
I want names, I want names.
Whanganui on attack, unfortunately didn't quite finish there. Handed it over at the right end of the field, and here we have Auckland coming out with a lead of 4-0. I think if some of their work off the ball was just a little bit better, that primary attack is creating some good options when they're picking out of half, or even the way that some of their footwork has been on their little step back scenarios. If they could just get a little bit more effort working off the ball, then some opportunities or some holes will really arise, and it'll put pressure onto this Auckland defensive unit to have to make a decision, and then we could see a lot more outcome for this Whanganui team. You talked about trust in the girls earlier in the first half there, Kevin. It's not just in that they're going to catch it, but if you look at the two girls, number 5 for Auckland, Louisa, and number 9, Emma, it's the trust in their strength in the roll ball, because the girl link often is up against a male defending link, and those two girls in the transition coming out of the red zone through the orange zone, they are very solid, very direct, and definitely get Auckland on the front foot. And having that trust in your female player is just huge. And so I think they are a big reason as to why Auckland is as good as they are. As we see an intercept here from Blundell, Baggs not chasing him, and he just strolls over for an easy try and takes Auckland to 5-0.
Am I right in saying he's just lost his hoof as he's run off to the line? There you go.
That's what happens when you run that faster. My shoes never came off.
Too quick for his boots, that boy. It's dot down 2 for him, so he's having a blinder as well today.
Yeah, we talked about you can't coach speed, and Blundell, right place, right time, and reads the play well, and some great effort there from the Waiariki Turia as well, as he chases him all the way to the line, and those are some efforts that you'd like to see from a coach, that never say die attitude. And I've been really impressed with the number 6 from Whanganui Mixed here. He's come on with some real purpose, and he's not allowing Auckland to just roll over. He's really putting them to the test and saying, hey, I know we're down on the scoreboard, but at the end of the day, I'm still going to keep you honest and trying to create some opportunities on the scoreline.
Yeah, Turia and Koro have been real good for Whanganui. They've been really just going through the ruck there, but yeah, they've taken control. Oh no, hand over. Yeah, but those two boys have taken control for Whanganui, and they're really leading that ship. So need a bit more from them. Push Whanganui back into this game.
Once again, Louisa, strong yards.
Yeah, she's been good.
Just a good setup here, getting the girl to strike there for that 32 drop. Good patience, looking for a tip play around the back. Good release there from the Whanganui link there. Wasn't falling for the fade in, and was able to keep nice and square on the goal line and fade out to make that double touch.
I think what I really like about Louisa, and particularly when she's doing the yards, is just how smart she is technically, in terms of she doesn't just T-bone the defender. She gets to the side, she initiates the touch, she's nice and low, beats the defender to the bend, and all those parts of her technique are the reason why she has such good yards. So she's a superstar player. Be interested to see how she goes in terms of higher honours after this tournament.
And there's the opportunity Whanganui were looking for as they pass off there to Huela, number 12.
Kailahi break, just come out of half. Oh, I missed the call there, Cabs. I turned my head to have a look at the spreadsheet.
Yeah, I thought Whanganui were in for their first there. I didn't see what happened. Maybe a late call on the touch. So rather than a touch and pass, the referee decided that because the call was late, that they just played that the 6 touches were up. But promising signs for the Whanganui team, that they were able to get into the in goal and create themselves an opportunity. As we see the other way, number 11 there for Auckland.
Taramai Lima. Watch how he stops and turns on a dime. Oh, we're going back to the replay of the earlier one. Oh, yeah, he's called touch there, but here he is. Turns on a dime, runs back to the short side. One-handed, looking to throw it around.
The best player who I ever seen have ABS breaks in their knees was Richie Masters. And he used to play for club team Inside Out. And, blunder again. I think Whanganui have assisted him with more touchdowns or tries than his own team have. Just again, as you said last time, Kev, right place, right time, and great anticipation.
Blundell's putting himself in those positions though, isn't he, boys? He's working hard on defences as well as attack. So,
yes, we just looked to the Bunnings warehouse replay. Unfortunately there for the dummy half, Scarlett Hodder, she had no options and was getting pressed by 2 defenders and was just trying to get the ball away, and Blundell knew that she had to pass it and just put himself between player and ball, and unfortunately for Whanganui the ball went to the Auckland boys' hand, and they were able to extend their lead out to 6 touchdowns to 0.
What was the try celebration then from Blundell? Was that the Teletubbies or was that the Rabbitohs?
I'm not too sure what he was looking for there. I'm unsure of that celebration, but no doubt it probably relates back to something that I've missed on social media, but the youth have definitely picked up on it.
Kev, being one of the highest try-scoring players in touch history, surely you had a touchdown celebration on 1 or 2 of those.
I'm fortunate enough to be a part of a crew that has a lot of ex-Touch Blacks personnel that are very opinionated about a game, and they make sure that with their support that they give us through the On It crew that we're a part of, that they're always asking for celebrations, especially a proud man from the Taranaki, Mr. CJ Wool or Chrissy Wool. So he's normally always asking for it, but in the heat of the moment, I'm more about trying to get that win, to be honest, Maya, and sometimes I forget about the celebration that he potentially wants. But definitely with the youth, they like to put themselves on show, and I'm sure we'll see a few more over the weekend.
Here we have the Bunnings replay. Auckland coming down, just sitting up on the 7 there.
Offside call here, I think, for young Muir. I feel like he had 2 feet there, Kaz. What are you calling on that one?
He eventually got the 2 feet there, but unfortunately the 2 feet weren't on or behind the line prior to the touch being made. So just another great call from the referee there, in the right position. It's easy to see the right picture when you're in the right position.
Good man, good man.
And from a coaching standpoint, like, it's something you can respect. Like, we've talked about this over the past couple of years around positive and negative lines, and we saw that in that aspect of that touch being made, he was still retreating to the line, whereas if he could work a little bit harder to be able to promote himself forward, as we see Whanganui with a nice right to left over, unfortunately just wasn't able to take the ball in the corner. And these are the opportunities that if Whanganui have were able to take, there's about 3 touchdowns that they've left out there at the moment, but in terms of what they're putting out, they're creating these opportunities. It's just about executing them, and this scoreline could be different if the ball had been able to go to hand a few more times within this game.
It was smart from Ihaya. He had, Auckland's got all eyes on Turia. He split the short side for a short side quickie, and Ihaya just picked and ran open and flicked a beautiful pass out wide, and unfortunately just went to ground.
And for those of you that may have just been joining us, I know we're seeing a 7-0 scoreline here to the Auckland crew, but they've managed to make some good decisions through a few intercepts, as well as Whanganui not being able to get ball to hand. So if they were able to cut out a few of those errors, like, we could be looking at a 2-3 score deficit rather than the 7 that it's at the moment. So take nothing away from the efforts that Whanganui's team has put out onto this field through this game.
Got bundled back out there again. Sure what's happening here. Turnover maybe in the ruck.
Yeah, it's hard to know how an attacking player can get penalised for being in the ruck. You'd probably
I'll leave that one to you, Mike.
Your dummy half was in the ruck. But as we move on, Whanganui, great opportunity here. 3rd touch, 4th touch coming up. I'll be trying to set it up, getting into the right end position within the field. 32/8, comes back open side, sees some space. I'm sure that was dummy half.
Blake, yeah, dummy half.
Good honesty there.
Kailahi Blake tried to sneak through the old see me if you can gap on that one.
Getting back to the try celebrations, Corey.
Yeah.
Your famous favourite one you had?
I didn't score too many tries, to be honest, mate. But I tell you what, I'd love to see Cav do the gritty.
I don't think you'll be able to see that from me, mate. I don't think I have the rhythm to pull that off. But I'll tell you one person that was good for a try celebration, not so much within the touch scene, as we see Auckland there just exposing the link gap and crossing for their 8th touchdown with a nice left to right pass, and just being able to run that hole out there in a nice passive line, and Auckland taking advantage of that. But getting back to what I was saying was Henry Fa'afeli for the Warriors. He always seemed to produce something in the corner, especially the one of, what was he doing? Cutting the coconut. That was always a good one to watch.
Genius. Yeah, Cook's been another strong performer for Auckland. Miko snuck in there for a try for himself.
Maybe lacking a little bit of direction, do you think, Corey, the Whanganui attack in the last few sets?
Yeah, I think when we talked about it earlier and it got a little bit messy, I tried to tidy it up a little bit.
6 more, was it? Yep, good call.
Yeah,
good call by the control referee. The sideline referee was getting ready to set the 7.
Yeah, good save there from the Auckland girl. I think maybe just a little bit lost in terms of location on field to player in front, and potentially the Auckland middle thought that it was a man-on situation for the link there, when really it was the person on the outside of him. As we see a nice little link play there, looking to dive outside foot.
Yeah, it's Parley Clark.
He's had a couple of good entries through this game, Clark, and as we see him going to an assisting role at half and sending the number 2 there around on the back door. Just I wonder what they're trying to break down here, Corey.
Now, I guess, like I say, I'm not a mixed expert by any means, but I guess with Matthews coming around on the sweep, she's trying to maybe feed back early and get a bit of a mismatch going on for a young speedy boy there.
From a referee standpoint, like, I've had a lot to do with you when it's come to the competitive nature in the men's grade, but was it different refereeing men's to than it was refereeing mixed?
Yeah, definitely, absolutely, 100%. I felt the game was a lot less predictable in the mixed than it was in the men's. I thought the men's game was quite robotic. It was just robotic at 450,000 miles an hour. But you tended to know who was going to do what and what they were going to do. And it was just whether the defence had the ability to mitigate that. But yeah, I thought the mixed game was just so much more dynamic, so much more lateral. While a lot of it centred in the middle, when there's a period where quickies were a big thing, but then the long balls, I really think the long balls came from the mix than I do the men's grade. And so, yeah, I just thought that the dynamic, the less, I guess, obvious what was going to happen was the exciting part about the mixed game.
We've had some real stars in the mixed game, haven't we? As Auckland going for another touchdown. I had some real stars in that mixed game, haven't we? Your brother being one of them, Richie Moanga, current All Black, number 10. He was an unbelievable exponent of the mixed game.
Well, I mean, my brother had to be good because I smoked him so much in the backyard all the time. He had to learn those lessons to go forward.
We'll wait till he's around to have that chatter.
Beautiful left to right. It's probably the first left to right long ball I've seen out of the first 3 games, and they're gorgeous. I always think things are amazing that you can't do, so that's a lot for me, but in particular left to right passes. Kev?
2 tries for Peters.
Who's the best left to righter that you ever played with?
That I ever played with, or I guess in terms of as we see another intercept, and I think that's number 6, Preston Field. Just going off body shape of what we've seen down the other end before, and yep, number 6, Preston Field, and he's going to close this game out here for Auckland as they end up running away with this at a final scoreline of 10 touchdowns to 0 over a very competitive and great effort from a Whanganui team.
This Touch New Zealand event is proudly supported by Bunnings Warehouse.